The city of Orario has it all. That's what he told me when I was young. Attract young ladies, of course, those elves you like so much, goddesses with voluptuous figures, and, of course, even your soulmate. If you feel like going, then go. Back then, all I could do was hold my dreams in one hand and a book of fairy tales in the other. If you play your cards right, wealth and fame can be yours too. But once you step foot there, whether you like it or not, you will be drawn into the ebb and flow of the story. That's the kind of place it is, he said, neither smiling nor angry, just stating a fact. But, that's exactly what gives you the chance to be a hero. So if you are ready, go. That's what my grandfather told me. I will just say this, don't compromise yourself for anyone. Not by a spirit, not by a god. I remember his words well. Don't obey blindly. Decide for yourself. I remember your eyes. This is your story. I will never forget the way he smiled. He's gone now, but I cherish all the many things he said to me. Somehow I can say that these memories will keep popping up as they please for a long, long time. Hey, boy. You can see it now. Katunk, katunk. I come out of a dream to the sound of the cart and open my eyes. I've been sleeping curled up in some bales of hay, but when I hear the old man's voice driving the cart, I quickly stick my head out to sea. A single sight greets me as the cart climbs a small hill on the well-maintained road. My jaw drops as I stare dumbstruck at the stunning view. This is amazing. That's what everyone says when they see Orario for the first time, boy. The old man driving the cart, a human trader, laughs amusedly at how I'm shaking with amazement. Up until this point on the road, the main highlight has been the distant but still clearly visible towers that greet me every time I look up. The scale of the vision that now greets me, however, is on another level. My village upbringing leaves me completely speechless. The labyrinth city of Orario. The center of the world, where one can find riches, fame and destiny encounters. It gives me goosebumps to be able to lay eyes on the place that served as the stage for so many adventures in my beloved stories and epics about legendary heroes. Thank you very much, sir. I'll be fine from here. I thank the kind merchant who brought me here and jump off the cart, carrying my few belongings as I run along the road that leads to the incredible metropolis. Hey! You've got a long way to get to town, kid. It's okay. I'll run. I say over my shoulder with a wave and a smile. Then I head back to town and climb the hill toward it, as if driven by my uncontrollable excitement. The old man was right. It takes a long time for me to reach the high stone walls. I'm exhausted, panting, and sweaty, but now that I'm face to face with these walls that seem gigantic even from a distance, I feel yet another wave of awe. They are tall enough that craning my neck to see the top is actually quite painful, which only adds to their overwhelming grandeur. Like the barrier surrounding the only labyrinth in the entire world, the imposing walls have stood since ancient times. I finally come to my senses and decide to enter the city, joining the end of a long line of merchants, carts and travelers that snakes from the entrance. Next. My turn finally comes as I'm distracted, scanning the line for someone wearing sword and armor. Awkward with nervous energy, I approach the two doormen. Do you have your entry permit? Do I need something like that? As I struggle with the demand for documents, one of the guards, an animal wearing a black uniform, he must be one of the guild members I heard about, immediately laughs. Well, you're obviously not a merchant. You came to be an adventurer, right? Why yes, sir. So, you are good. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of aspiring adventurers come to this city. There's not enough time in the world to question them all, the guild member explains as he directs me to turn around and bare my back. When I do as he says, he holds a light bulb-like object to my back. What are you doing? Checking if you have a fauna. It is a test to prevent the entry of foreign spies. He explains that it responds to something called ichor, but for a redneck like me, it's all mumbo-jumbo. Just when I'm starting to worry, the other doorman, a man with a sword at his side, speaks loudly. Looks like we have more new blood. I can tell with one look, He is an adventurer. On the shoulder of his rumpled clothes is a coat of arms. Looking closer, I can tell that it is a design with the pattern of an elephant's head, the emblem of the faction of his patron deity, his family. The dark-skinned, scruffy-bearded adventurer has a presence that even I can feel. Faced with this adventurer, a person who has the life I so desire, someone who lives the life I so admire, I feel an emotion that is something like nervousness. Then why did you come to Orario? Don't tell me you're here for something boring like just earning a living. And money? Fame? Women? Being casually spoken to by one of the adventurers I dreamed of becoming catches me so off guard that I just blurt out the truth. I came to find people in the dungeon. The human man's eyes widen and he laughs so hard that he draws attention to us. This is the first time I've met someone who has actually come out and said directly that they're looking for a hot dungeon date. You're funny, boy. My face is burning after saying something so embarrassing. Hashana, we're on duty, his guildmate reminds him. Come on, don't be like that. You guild guys are very serious about work, says the adventurer with a shrug and a smile. Apparently, guild members and adventurers are assigned to guard duty. It finally sinks in when, out of the corner of my eye, I notice that there are two distinct types of people wearing black uniforms at a station near the gates. My test is apparently over, the guild member puts away his magic item. The first thing you need to do is go to the guild headquarters to register as an adventurer. That's where you'll get your guidance. Oh, thank you very much. However, registration requires you to have a fauna. In other words, you must join a deity's family to properly register as an adventurer. The guild member offers a practical explanation of the process of becoming an adventurer. Family. Organizations established by the Dustia, gods and goddesses who came from the heavens. By signing a contract with one of the deities, inhabitants of the mortal plane could become one of his followers and gain certain blessings. And a family is a family that sticks together in good times and bad. My heart starts to pound as I vaguely remember the knowledge my grandfather shared with me. Anything you want to know? Now is your chance. I'm an open book. The adventurer who found my answer hilarious is giving advice later, raising a good-natured laugh. A moment of hesitation later, I look up to meet his gaze. What is the most important thing for an adventurer? The compactly built, medium-height adventurer responds without any hesitation. Finding a good god to serve, I'd say. He crosses his arms, giving me a confident wave and a smile. This is the only place where the guild will not take care of you. Choosing a good god is when an adventurer, or rather, the god, really shows what he's made of. Other than that, probably lucky. Luck. Yes. It's the most important thing an adventurer can have. Then he adds, good luck, newbie, and pats me on the back. His smile makes me so happy that I immediately return it and say, yes, sir. And go to the opening gates. My chest fills with excitement, nervousness and anticipation as I step over the threshold and a whole new world opens up before me. Wow, the city streets that greet me are more beautiful than anything I imagined while outside the walls. A wide avenue leads directly from the square just past the gates where I am currently standing. An orderly flow of horse-drawn carts passes shops that line both sides of the wide road. Orario's streets, arranged around the magnificent white tower at its center, are more stunning and busier than any farming village could ever hope to be. I walk down the avenue, emotion coloring my cheeks. It's obvious to anyone who bothers to look that I'm a newcomer. I can't stop turning my head from side to side and exclaiming at each new wonder. Many of the people walking the streets are demi-humans. And then there are all the adventurers, dressed in weapons and armor. My eyes light up at the sight of elegant elves wielding swords and dwarven knights with great axes strapped to their backs. The child wizards with their pointy hats and staffs are equally charming. The village where I was raised only had humans and the occasional animal, so the sheer number of races walking around as if it were a given is enough to make me emotional. The noise emanating from the crowd is strangely uplifting. The word that comes to mind is exotic. For the first time, I am seeing the labyrinth city with my own eyes. Every sight and sound is so fresh and inspiring. I've never been more excited in my life. What is this? I have been wandering aimlessly south along the avenue leading from the north gate for quite a while, then I encounter a crowd that appears to be forming for something. I approach the crowd. Excuse me. What are people gathering for? I ask. It's Loki Familia. They're back from the expedition. Loki family. Expedition. The young human who answered me looks at my incomprehensible face suspiciously. What, you arrived in Orario, like, yesterday? What kind of hayseed doesn't recognize the name Loki Familia? With an exasperated expression on his face, the man explains. Loki Familia is one of the main groups of adventurers in the city. Evidently, this makes them one of the few groups in the city, and even the world, worthy of being called top-notch adventurers. And apparently, they've just returned from an expedition to the farthest reaches of the dungeon, the labyrinth that lies beneath the city. The best family in town. When I hear these words, I can't resist joining the crowd to try and catch a glimpse of them. Onlookers keep their distance from the adventurers, making room for them as they pass, almost as if they are afraid to get too close. I manage to poke my head through an opening and finally get a good look at the group of adventurers in question. All I could see before were flashes of battered armor. The first ones I see are a formidable dwarf knight and an elf wizard, or is it a high elf? They are all carrying heavy backpacks, and their unfamiliar weapons and staffs gleam in the sunlight. They look for all the world like a band of heroes returning triumphantly from the battlefield. Each member of your party has the presence of an experienced adventurer. It hasn't even been a day since I arrived in Orario and I'm already witnessing a scene worthy of legend. Here I am with the rest of the crowd, looking on in amazement. Hey, look! That golden hair! Those golden eyes! It's the Sword Princess!